gut, dass ja soweit ich weiß, das ist Molly.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Pickdroppers, back at it again with a Fortnite Battle Royale video. Now in this video, I'm going to be going over 10 changes that Fortnite should make, and these changes are going to be all over the map, and so it's not specific to like the map, which I did a video on, and let's get right into it. So number one is when the bush item is equipped, the player who equipped it should not see it, only opponents see it. I think this would make the bush really worth its legendary value, which it's given, or its legendary rarity, and I believe that since it's legendary, it should have something really cool like other people can see the bush, but you cannot, so it doesn't distract your viewing, and then everybody would use it. But people don't use it right now, and the bush is almost never used, and it's a legendary item, so people should want to use it. But right now, nobody wants to use it, and I think by making this change, more people will use it. Number two, when you destroy a chest, it drops whatever it was in it. I know a lot of people have had it where they built over a chest and then the chest just disappears, and that's really annoying. And I feel like a way to change that is to just have chests drop whatever in them when destroyed. Also, people would start pickaxing the chest like they do with the llama instead of holding E, and that could help them so they don't get sniped when trying to open a chest and stuff. And I think this would be a really cool addition, and so that whenever you destroy a chest, you don't have to feel mad or bad, and you just get whatever in it. Number three, instead of bloom, have recoil. Now this is pretty big. I feel like bloom is definitely something that doesn't take much skill in the game. It's just RNG. You put your reticle over the player. Obviously, they've tried to negate this with first shot accuracy, but I feel like there's still a lot of bloom. And in a battle royale game where you're trying to see who the best player on the map is, I feel like there shouldn't be much bloom, if any at all. And so I think a way to take away bloom without making people get like killed in half a second is to have recoil, because people would still miss shots, but with recoil it would take much more skill. You would have to have good accuracy, and good accuracy would be rewarded, and I feel like this would be a good way to make the game more competitive. Number four is have a kill cam to see how the player killed you. In a lot of first-person shooters or third-person shooters, they have kill cams of how you died, and I feel like this would be a really good idea. You go 10 seconds before you got killed, and you see the player and how he killed you, and it would really help you understand how you died, how you could have changed where you were positioned. Definitely it would change how I positioned. It would change how you would do that fight next time, and I feel like it would definitely help you become a better player. Number five is to have stats show accuracy for each weapon, how many kills you've gotten with each weapon, assist, etc. This would be really cool. It would be in the menu at the start of the game. You would just have stats for each weapon to see how good you are with certain weapons and how bad you are with other weapons. You could see accuracy, how many players you've knocked, how many players you've killed with a certain weapon, and I think this would open your eyes to see what weapons you need to work on and what weapons you're already really good at. Maybe it would show your longest kill with each weapon, how many times you picked up that weapon, how many times you dropped it, what you dropped it for, stuff like that. I think that would be a really cool addition. You could look through the stats and see what your stats were on all the weapons, and I'm sure Epic Games already has a list of these stats, but it would be really cool if the players could have those stats too. Number six is have a page that shows players with the same stats as you, so you can add them. Obviously, I don't mean the exact same stats. I mean the general statistics like KD, kills per match, and stuff like that. How many times you played, your win percentage, how many wins you got, stats like that, so that you can play with other players at your skill level. And I think this would be a really good addition. Or like a list where you can search for other players that are looking to like grind levels or just have fun in squads or something like that. and I feel like this would be a really good idea to bring the community together. It would also help if you want to give somebody their first win or something. Obviously, this could be abused by YouTubers, which would stink. But for the people who are really trying to help, you could get people their first win, their first solo win, first duo win, and I think this would be a really good idea at bringing the community together. And I think it would be a really good business idea for Epic Games because it could bring a lot of people into the game. Number 7 is add a competitive playlist. This is something they've hinted at for a while, and I'm just waiting for them to add a competitive playlist so that I can play against the players that are at my level, but I can also, when I want to, like, rest and just have a cool, fun game. But I really want to see how I match up with other players at my skill level. I want to see how good I am compared to everybody else, and I think a competitive playlist would do that. You wouldn't just get bots every game, and I think this would be a really good idea. You could also see how your favorite streamers played in these competitive playlists, because a lot of people comment about how YouTubers always go up against such bad players, and I think this would erase that, and it would be a lot of fun. Obviously, they would still need to have the regular playlist, but I think it would be a lot of fun to go up against people who are super tryhards for maybe a game or two and see how I could do against them. Number 8 is to take out the normal scoped AR and have thermal be able to switch between scoped AR and thermal AR. I think this would be a really good idea. You could just press one button and it would switch between both of them, because there's really no point of having the scoped AR in the game anymore. I mean, obviously it does shoot faster, just a little bit, but it doesn't have the thermal. You can't see where your opponents are, and it doesn't do anywhere close to the same amount of damage. And so I really feel like there's no point of even having the scoped AR, and it would make more people want to pick up the thermal AR, because you would be able to switch between both. And obviously there's advantages for both, and it would just make that weapon even better. And I know a lot of people don't like the thermal AR, so now they might pick it up even more. I don't know. I think that could be a really good idea to make more people use the thermal AR. Number 9 is make metal easier to get. Now, at the start of Fortnite Battle Royale, I'm sure Fortnite thought, let me make sure metal is really hard to get because it has so much XP. But what I've noticed throughout playing Fortnite for the past, like, 6-7 months is no one ever tries to get metal and no one ever uses metal. Because metal is very bad in a lot of fighting situations when people are, like, spamming at your walls and stuff, and people just don't use metal. It's very underused. And Fortnite makes it so metal's super hard to get. So nobody has metal, nobody uses metal, and so you just end up ending the game with like 400 metal, and you didn't use any of it. And I feel like Fortnite should make metal easier to get, because brick and wood are pretty easy to get. Wood's obviously the easiest, but brick is also pretty easy to get. I end up having 999 wood, or 999 wood and brick. A lot, but I almost never have 999 metal, and I feel like metal needs to be much easier to get because it's always fun when you're building a base with metal, but no one ever tries to get metal because no one uses it. So I have a hard time even getting 100 metal, and so I feel like Fortnite should make metal easier to get, easier to harvest. Number 10 is to make impulses negate fall damage. Something I've noticed a lot, or two things I've noticed a lot with impulses. One, almost nobody ever picks them up. I always see them roaming around the map. And two, YouTubers are the only ones who use them. Now, YouTubers use them to try and make fancy plays and stuff, but it always sucks because they always take fall damage. I feel like Fortnite should make people want to pick up impulse grenades. And by doing this, you make them negate fall damage, at least for the person who uses them. It would make a lot of people use impulses. It would be a very good weapon. You would be able to get from the high ground to the low ground and like bounce over to them pretty fast. And so it would really cause players to be aggressive. And I think making the impulse grenade have no fall damage on the person using it would definitely make it make people want to use it more. But that's just my opinion. I hope you guys like these 10 changes. I want to hear what your opinions on these 10 changes that Fortnite should make, whether you like it or not. But thank you guys for watching this video. Please like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, write a comment down below on what you'd like to see next. It's your boy Pickdroppers, and I'm out. Peace.